A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Now, Thursday night football, the Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. This game tonight will be like watching two old people have sex.
How about that?
That's why you have to keep watching, because you don't know the next word out of my mouth. And I know that because I don't know the next word out of my mouth. Everybody's awake today.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Welcome to a brand new week, everybody. Hope that woke you up. I'm just sharing the show on Facebook here. Wherever you may be joining us today, welcome. Welcome inside for a Caliber Coffee. RP here, Dupes here. Got our crew on the other side of the wall. And life's good. How about you?
Life is good. Yeah.
I'm not sure that you showed the viewers earlier what the gear is that you're wearing. I'm not sure that we had that. I think we did it on the Access Now show, but not Game Plus. Just lean out. Can you pop that to the camera? That is a gift from Ray in the 6th. That is not a Milestone Flyers logo, even though it looks very much like that. That is a Kitchener Rangers logo.
Hot.
Well, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
I couldn't wear mine because it's winter clothing. So thanks, Ray in the 6th and the Kitchener Rangers, for watching and supporting. And let's roll. On the program today, we had some great work by producer Clark moving things around. We were going to have Cameron Hughes, the professional fan, but he had a travel snafu and he couldn't join us, and he's just absolutely despondent that he's stuck in an airport somewhere. And I'm like, Cameron, you do you. You take care of you. Clark will have it handled because he always does. And he did. And he actually smashed it out of the park because we've got two big-name Winnipeg Jets reporters today, Ken Wiebe and Sean Reynolds, to talk about the Jets and what's going on there. That's coming up in hour 1. And in hour 2, Paul Hendrick from Henny Tweets to talk about your beloved Toronto Maple Leafs. So I'll go have a sandwich while you talk to Henny. Cool?
It'll be good.
Are you excited about that?
We got both. I'm excited about both, right? I mean, we got to figure out what's going on in Winnipeg. We really do. And, get that Toronto perspective. It'll be nice.
I didn't finish sharing this, so why don't you tell me, what's your take on the Toronto Maple Leafs as we sit here right now? Who, by the way, for the first time could find themselves in second place tonight if the Oilers win.
I know. And I don't know what to make of them, really. I mean, up and down, but it's about matchups, right? I mean, the Oilers have that disastrous 3 games against Toronto and then go on a tear, right? And 6 or 7-2 since then. And the Leafs have those great games and then go on a complete spill. And then they could meet again and the Leafs could, eat their lunch one more time. It's all about how these teams, match up against each other. And, the team that played last week is a completely different team from the one that's going to play next week. So, it's really tough to read. I know they're talking about making a move. Jack Campbell getting back into the net for the Leafs was nice. And potentially he might be the number 1 guy. That's where they need the most help is in net. Right? I mean, they played well.
Didn't Freddie Anderson just have a shutout the other night?
That was Jack Campbell.
Somebody.
So, who had been hurt. But if Freddie's the number 1 guy, he just hasn't really played as well as other number 1s. Let's put it that way.
Good work, Dupes.
Welcome.
Good work, Moose.
I got you.
Folks, share on Facebook, please. Go down to the bottom of your screen if you're watching on Facebook and share it. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube or not. But anyways, let's move on. Director Jordan, please, with the Quick 6 show topics. Please and thank you. Number 1, weekend NHL leftovers. There's some of them right there. This is what I'm not understanding. It was Saturday night that the Winnipeg Jets blew that 2-0 lead and lost to the Edmonton Oilers, and my phone just blew up because we follow all these Winnipeg people, right? And they want Paul Maurice fired. And I'm thinking, we were doing the Pats game. Who were they playing on Saturday night that we did? Brandon.
Yeah. And
so I wasn't watching the game, and I'm like, whoa. The Jets are the 3rd-place team in the Scotia North Division. Why do you want the coach fired? I don't understand. To the Winnipeg people, we're all still getting to know each other here, right? We're still in the dating phase. I think I want to jump in, but I don't know you that well. I know that they know hockey in Winnipeg, but are you like the crazy Rider fans that expect the team to go 18-0, and if they don't, you want everybody fired? Are those the people that are tweeting? Or are these the people that actually know the game of hockey, of which I think the majority of Winnipeggers do? I can't answer that question. That's why I'm so happy to have Ken, Wiebe, and Sean Reynolds coming on. Do you know what I'm saying? Should we be listening to these crazies, or are they not that crazy?
So remember, when Winnipeg and Toronto met, a week ago? It was, okay, who's the best team in the North? We're going to find out.
Yeah.
They were literally the best team in the North, or at least in the conversation.
That's right.
And now they want everybody fired.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure all out. You guys tell me. Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SAS telemobility dealer. I'm not saying you're crazy. I want you to say you're crazy or explain yourself. That's all. The Oilers, as I mentioned, can grab first place with a win tonight. So I think the real Oilers have showed up. It didn't take a quarter season. It took a half season, 28 games, and we realize that the Oilers are for real.
Yeah.
Now, how high can they go? The others here, McDavid and Draisaitl are on an Esposito pace here for leading the NHL in scoring in consecutive years. Wow, that's unbelievable what they're doing there. The Colorado Avalanche. I'll tell you this, my daughter's boyfriend is an Avalanche fan, so I'm really getting into the Avalanche games. We watched the Avs with Mikko in tow, by the way. He's doing great.
Great.
The dog Mikko.
Haven't seen him on your Instagram story.
Well, no, I could have put him on. I'm trying not to go too crazy on Mikko, but I'm enjoying watching the Avs. And this is how well Austin and I get along. They were going to leave last night with 3.5 to go in the Kings Golden Knights game. And I'm like, no, they can't leave now. He's staying. So's Mikko. And then, of course, Marc-Andre Fleury gets scored on a breakaway, and it's game over. And I'm like, okay, see you later.
Yeah.
And Paul Stastny's playing his 877th game tonight, which is tying him with his dad, Peter, which is cool. Anyways, moving on here in the quick 6.2, Dub Hub. Scintillating excitement of what's going on in the Western Hockey League's East Division. And I'll just say this. He and I are calling the Pats games on Access Now TV. It's just been a riot. The Saskatoon Blades lead everybody with 9 points. No wonder their coach, Mitch Love, got mad when we interviewed him. It felt like he got mad when I said, I've got you pegged for third. I thought that was pretty good out of 7 teams, right? And He just burned a hole in the screen. He knew something that I didn't.
Well, he did. And when you said, how do you manage development versus playing to win? He's like, we can't teach development if we're not playing to win. He knew he had a good team. And
did you just drop a wee bomb?
And now they're proving it.
Did you just say we?
Did I say we? I don't know.
Yes, you did. He just showed his hand. He's a Blades guy.
If I did, I'm not apologizing for it. Everybody knows I'm a Blades guy.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Except when they're playing the Pats and I'm calling it on a Pats broadcast, I'll be the Pats guy that night.
Well, I'm the real Pats guy. And Connor Bedard. So Nolan Meyer, their goalie, is leading in wins, goals against average. Unbelievable what's going on with the Blades. Connor Bedard leads the entire 7-team East Hubble in scoring with 9 points. I'm going to be in an Ottawa show this afternoon talking about Connor Bedard. So I'll move on, but I'll just say the hockey here has been tremendous. And I've been watching more Western Conference games than Central for whatever reason in my spare time. Nice to have them back. Point 3, March Madness has been amazing. I'm going to morph it with point 6. I kind of had a choice this weekend of March Madness or mixed curling. TSN was showing both, and I kind of opted for March Madness. I'm in a pool. I got some action on it. Is there a mixed doubles curling pool? A bracket? Imagine if there was.
Probably.
Imagine if there was.
I know.
But for March Madness, Oral Roberts University, the story, I picked them. I got change on it. Let's be honest. That's what makes things interesting in sports.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of money. Doesn't need to be a lot of money.
No, it doesn't. But it's fun. Keeps you engaged. And the mixed doubles has been fun to watch. I've been watching that only a little bit, kind of splitting my time with basketball and curling. It's a fun weekend.
This is why, by the way, Trevor Bazzillo's watching in Winnipeg. He says Paul Maurice's message is getting old to the fans and players. He's a good interview, but enough. Time for a kick in the pants. We should be at the top with this forward group. Yeah, I'm not interested in arguing with Winnipeg people, but you know that your blue line needs help. And they do have the best goalie in the NHL, although statistically right now he's not. Statistically, he's not. Connor Hellebuck's had some bad games. So that's the thing. I feel that you folks that are commenting in really know hockey. But are you blinded? Are you too crazy about the Winnipeg Jets to realize that you still got close to 30 games to go to figure all this out, plus a trade deadline? So we got those Winnipeg broadcasters and reporters coming on here, Ken Wiebe and Sean Reynolds, next segment. So that's going to be fantastic. This is the warm-up, by the way, for the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the NHL, Regina Pats hockey, and the UFC. CFL, XFL reflections. Wednesday marks 2 weeks since Randy Ambrosie and the CFL dropped the bomb that they and the XFL are investigating a collaboration. And two things have become clear to me in all this. Number one, in no particular order, the stubbornness with which people are not letting go of the CFL tradition, which is entirely their right. Bob Irving has been calling Winnipeg Blue Bombers games literally for as long as I've been alive, the same amount of years. You saw what he said about the people drinking the Kool-Aid better not be CFL governors, presidents, and owners. And I'm thinking, wow, if Knuckles doesn't know who's talking about this, who does? Right?
Right.
He has long been the conscience of the Canadian Football League, and he doesn't know where this talk is coming from or what's going on. I'm hearing things, but I don't know what the governors are saying and the owners. I don't know. But my thing is this saying that we have in recovery, which works well in life, nothing changes if nothing changes. Do I need to say that again? Nothing changes if nothing changes. So I would say Bob's like way, way, way on one end of the scale of not wanting any change whatsoever. Cuthbert's on that end, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm on the other end of the scale going, no, we need to do this. I'm living proof that where you just say, hey, what I'm doing is not working. What do you got for me? Let's change. That's the concept of recovery. They're at the other end going, no, fighting it tooth and nail. They got more at stake than I do. Well, Cuthbert doesn't, but Bob does. So, hey, at some point you need to know enough to stand back and go, I'm out. I'm not arguing anymore. Right? Good luck. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm looking at this going, I think it could work for a variety of reasons. But the other thing that's what I'm saying. People are very stubborn with regards to not wanting to change. It's not rare. But it doesn't necessarily lead on a path to success. And the other thing is that I've learned is the XFL's no great shakes either. You know, you hear it a lot, the whole, they've folded twice in 20 years. Who the hell are they for us to partner with them? I think it's a little different now. That the Rock owns them and not Vince McMahon. Everything the Rock touches turns to gold. It certainly looks that way. He hasn't even had a chance to kick off a game as the owner yet. Yet everybody wants to crap on the XFL. But I've been on these American shows, and they're football guys down there and gals, and they've said the XFL doesn't have a great brand. It's folded twice. In the American football conscience, the XFL isn't that well thought of. So those are two things that I've become clear to me. How about you?
Yeah, and that's something to remember, right? That's the first thought from the detractors to the whole thing is, look, at the XFL hasn't done anything. What are they? Have they played 60 games, right? And let's not tie The Rock to the XFL because he's never been a part of it. And yeah, what he's done has been great, but you also have to go into these negotiations trying to find out, okay, Dwayne, what is your plan to run a professional football league? Because he's never done that either.
Good point.
Right? He's never done that. So
good point.
We have to consider that. But at least they're having the conversation and say, look, can we decipher if you can take the success you've had, marketing, branding, wrestling, movies, products, this, and transfer it into a football league, then we're ready to get on board. If they don't think that he can, then it's not going to work.
Some viewer comments from Sober Athletic Wear writes in, the rest of Canada is picking up on the player Connor Bedard is and potentially could be in the NHL. Heard about him first here on the Rod Pedersen Show. From Sober Athletic Wear. It's not that we're the ones doing anything for Connor, but we are waving the flag. Todd in Winnipeg, Todd Mogi, tweeted on the weekend, how come we're not hearing about this from the other media? I don't know what the other media is doing. I'm the racehorse that has blinders on. This is what I don't know what's going on over here. Don't care. This is what we're doing and it's working. I think.
Yeah.
Right? I know everybody's so focused on what we're doing over here. I don't know why they are. Darren Thompson says, USA won't accept 3-down football, unfortunately. How do we know? How do you know? There was a poll not that long ago, and Nelson Hackowich, our VP of Sim Events, could tell you 1 in 5 Americans identifies themselves as a CFL fan or knows what it is or something. It's been on ESPN for 20, 25 years.
Right.
Reggie Hunt's watching from Texas. Where's the bell? Reginald? Good to see you, my man. Hall of Fame Saskatchewan Rough Rider writes in, hi, Roddy Rod, my guy. I love that guy. The Reaper, fierce, Will linebacker. Thanks for tuning in, man. Glad to be just talking about some football here. Chris Bird in Toronto says, you don't know that until it's tried. Logic says go 4 downs, but is the football market looking for another NFL or something different? Ryan McCarthy watching in Albany, New York. Can confirm I'm an American and I'm a CFL fan. How can you say Americans don't like the 3-down game? How can you say that? We don't know that. If anything, I think they do like it.
They're watching fan-controlled football. They've watched the XFL.
And they got 5 downs.
Yeah, they like watching arena ball. All these different variations of game. I think what I'm getting out of this is that Americans like football. They like football, and they can't get enough of it.
That's the truth. They'd watch cartoon football. John Ohm in Winnipeg. Where Reggie Hunt set the single game tackles record. I was there. John says, I'm actually getting tired of what is fact or fiction with the CFL. This rumor, that rumor. Give me some concrete actions or plans. Burn out or fade away. Ooh. Go or get off the pot. I think John speaks for a lot of Canadians in that regard. I wonder, is the CFL aware of this? That people are getting tired of the dance?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
It's a great question. We'll find out by, how fast we come up with some decisions and some direction.
Just last 2 points here. Blue Jays, Raptors. I watched the tape-delayed Blue Jays game yesterday. Tape-delayed. It's 2021, and we can't watch a live Blue Jays game in Canada. Think about that. And I enjoyed it better than a live broadcast of the other team carried by Sportsnet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't blame the broadcasters for the inane, stupid decisions that Sportsnet's making with Blue Jays and whatever other the networks are doing. You don't think Buck Martinez wants to call every game live? Of course he does. It's not on the broadcasters. It's the bean-counting, penny-pinching people upstairs in the suits that are making these dreadful decisions that are killing the networks. But the Blue Jays got spanked by the Yankees yesterday, by the way. It seems like every time they play the Yankees, they get spanked. That's going to be their nemesis this year.
Kryptonite, yeah.
Raptors have lost 8 in a row. March Madness, March Sadness. Not getting into the Raptors. And mixed curling, hey, our guy Kirk Myers is mowing the field with Laura Walker. So we got our curling report coming up. But we're going to Winnipeg next. Oh, from who is that? Games Are Us? One of my favorite stories. This nice Winnipeg Jets gear. Award in honor of our Winnipeg viewers and our next guests who are from the 204. So hang on. We'll be right back. This has been The Warm-Up. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpeterson.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is just fantastic. We've discovered something new today. just ahead of Ken Wiebe and Sean Reynolds. They're telling me that Sean Reynolds is having an audio issue, the guys are telling me. So you tell me if we can start with Ken, because I'd like to do that. But there are viewers on YouTube. John Burns is watching. I believe he's in Texas. You can super chat by paying on YouTube to get your comments jumped higher in the pack, and we'll read them. So John Burns, regarding the CFL XFL merger, says, if the import ratio in the CXFL is a non-starter, what about a regional ratio? I'm sure Houston and Dallas would love to dive deep into the Texas boys, where football is life. Add in a sliding scale. And John goes on to say also, Calgary, larger field, more players on the field, makes for a happy players association or union. CXFL Players Association, anyone? I'm with you. I'm saying we should have a Canadian ratio for the Canadian teams, and the Americans can play all Americans. We did it in the 90s, and it worked reasonably well. So thank you, John Burns, for your super chat comments. Okay, let's bring in Ken Wiebe now, and you guys tell me when Sean Reynolds is ready. Contributor to Sportsnet.ca. Ken, good to see you again, my friend. And can we start here? Why does Winnipeg want Paul Maurice fired? The fans. That's what I heard all weekend. This is nuts to me.
Yeah, Rod, great to see you as well. Obviously, I have some great Regina roots. Always a pleasure to speak with you. It's a question that I get a lot on the old social media channels, and I don't agree with it for 1 second. I think one of the things that Sean and I have been trying to show people when we're having them on our show is how well respected Paul Maurice is outside the market. And that goes across the NHL. So we totally understand fans want to see more prospects. They want their young players to have that Connor Bedard effect right out of the gate, if you will. Paul, on his fourth line, historically likes to use veteran players. So that's one of their issues. They want more ice time for Nikolai Ehlers, even though he's at his most productive stage of his entire career. Even though part of that is Nikolai Ehlers being used against players that he can have a lot of success at. And again, I'm a proponent for more for Nikolai Ehlers. He's earning more. But when you're playing every other day, essentially, when you have a player of Nikolai Ehlers' build, you need to be able to protect him in a certain point as well. So I think Paul Maurice is doing an excellent job. That's not to say coaches are not without their warts, but I mean, one of the questions going into this year, would the Jets be able to improve their power play? Well, they're currently 7th in the National Hockey League, and that's without one of their biggest weapons in Patrick Laine. So I think Paul Maurice done a very good job. But I think the problem for Jets fans is that all they see is the run to the Western Conference Final, and there have been some bumpy blocks since that point.
Wow. Well, I'm not done with this, but I think, Ken, you've kind of reasoned it. Oiler fans are like this. Rider fans are like this. I think they're just a little over the top here. So we'll come back. But Rennie, the other half of the Kenny and Rennie show, I love you guys, Instagram Live. The question to Ken, Sean, I'll put it to you, is why are the Jets fans all over Paul Maurice? All I read all weekend is that they want him fired. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, sports fans getting crazy. I mean, what's going on here? This never happens. I think what it is you take a look at that roster, and it doesn't have a lot of holes, and it comes down to simply this. I mean, the Jets have performed under Paul Maurice. The fans that want him fired are the fans that just believe that they simply could be better than what we're seeing from them. And I think one of the things that leads to it is we've seen it in years past. We saw it earlier this year. We haven't seen it as much lately. But when the Jets seem to get to their game and play their game, they are absolutely dominant. And the feeling is with fans that when they see that, the Jets heading out and controlling play and just steamrolling teams and scoring at ease, they think that that's how it should be all the time. And they see that as the version of the Winnipeg Jets that should exist all the time. So they think there's a failing of leadership, of coaching, that is keeping that team from being that dominant source all the time. And I mean, it's a debate. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe the Jets aren't, squeezing all the juice out of the orange at all times. Or maybe that's sports, and that you can't be flying and absolutely on top of your game at all times. And is there a balance to be explored? Potentially. But I mean, the one thing I go back to all the time, and Ken and I talk about this, you take a look at all the Jets' best players, the ones that have been drafted and developed through the team, they've all seemed to have become the very best versions of themselves under Paul Maurice. And that's something I don't think you can ignore. And I think it's the reason why you get management and ownership who are extremely happy with Palmieri's in the job that he's done.
Should be, and that's why I think it's awesome that Ken Cheveldayoff is the general manager, the pride of Blaine Lake, Saskatchewan. He's not going to buy into this. He's not going to be fooled by this. He knows exactly what he has, and that's a tremendous coach. And you can't red line all year. Just 56 games, yeah, I get isn't 82, but now I get it because I knew Winnipeg people knew hockey. I just think that the expectations are out of control. That's all, and that's not rare. Ken, back to you. They could use some help on the blue line. So do you think something's coming? And if I threw the name Tony DeAngelo out to you, would that be a possibility?
Yeah, no, not for me. I don't think Tony is at the top of the list. I did dive into this morning with our NHL trade deadline preview for the Jets. I think Matthias Ekholm's at the top of every wish list. I think another player to watch with some Saskatchewan roots of his own in terms of the family, Josh Manson, I think would be a perfect fit on that right side to potentially be a partner for Josh Morrissey. Yes, he's been limited, to 6 games this year with injury, but I think Manson has that great combination of mobility and physical play that would really help the Jets on the back end. I do think, they've pushed a lot of their chips into the middle with the Pierre-Luc Dubois, Patrick Laine deal. So I do think they're going to go out and get a top 4 defenseman to kind of round out their back end before we get to April 12th.
Where are you on that, Rennie? What do you think the Jets are going to do? Because I like it. They're seeing they have a contender, but they're not there yet. What do you think they'll do?
Well, I think they need help at the very top of their defense core. So Ken had talked about Matthias Ekholm. We've talked about him. We've devoted a lot of our recent shows to him and the exploration of him. But I think they need to swing for the fences with this one. I think if you take a look at their roster, as I'd mentioned before, there really aren't a lot of holes at it. But the holes in this roster are at the very top of the defense core. Now, Ken and I and every other journalist in Winnipeg that's been covering this team over the last couple of years got a real good look at Matthias Ekholm while we were watching the National Predators compete against the Winnipeg Jets over the years. He is big. He is bad. He's got the right attitude. He can contribute offensively. He really can do it all, and he's exactly what they need. And one of those guys that I think if you get him into that spot in the lineup right near the very top, every guy that they have on that defense core kind of just shuffles down one little spot in responsibility and just fits a lot better. So, the Jets have been really good in years past at finding hidden value in players and bringing them in. And, Derek Forward's a perfect example of a guy that they brought in. They're getting him to do a specific thing, and that specific thing is working, and he's fitting in. I just don't think it's a case where you want to go and look for the guy who just fits in and does something specific that kind of works. I think you need the guy that works in all different scenarios, that can't miss guy. And with the players that they have, and Ken and I have talked about this, the window that we see them being in at this moment, I just don't think there's any more time to waste with the window. I think you got to pay the price to get the big guy on the market, and that would be Ekholm.
So you guys tonight got Vancouver in there, and my question to you, Ken, is I think it's going to be Winnipeg, Toronto, Edmonton, top 3. Just throw them in the air, see where they land. So the 4th is up to Montreal, Calgary, Vancouver. I'm not going to write down your answer and hold you to it. But who do you think will get the 4th spot?
Yeah, Rod, for me, it's okay. My answers were on paper in our Sportsnet predictions, and I had the Calgary Flames not only making the playoffs, but winning the division.
So did I!
That certainly hasn't been working out so far, but I wouldn't rule them out. But I think that Montreal is the team that will take that spot. I think if we're looking objectively, despite the coaching change, I think we've seen a lot of, improvements from the Montreal Canadiens. And if they're not a team that went 0-9 in overtime this year, we'd be talking about the Montreal Canadiens being neck and neck for first place in the North. So I think the depth of their roster, and with Carey Price sort of rounding back into form, they're the team for me that is going to narrowly get in ahead of both Vancouver and Calgary, both of whom are capable. And we're seeing Bubble Demko again from the Canucks, and that's been the key to their resurgence. The Flames aren't out of, they're not out of it yet, but I do think that Montreal grabs that 4th spot. And if one of the teams would dip back, I would have said Edmonton, but man, Darnell Nurse is playing at a Norris Trophy caliber level, and the goaltending question marks that we had for them, they haven't really been an issue lately. And the way that they responded to that beatdown at the hands of the Leafs has been one of the most impressive stories in hockey.
Wow. Montreal. Got it, guys? I'm glad that you admitted that you picked Calgary, because so do I. And at least I'm not alone in that. And it's not over yet either, by the way, but it's not looking good. Rennie, who's your fourth team in the playoffs?
Well, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the season again, and I had Edmonton finishing first, Toronto finishing second, Calgary finishing third, closely with Winnipeg right behind them. That's what I had at the very beginning. So I think I should stick with that, just because, you start flopping around and you look at, you look like you don't know what you're talking about, which is actually the case, but we try and hide it as best as we can. My take on it is at this stage right now, I'm going to stick with what I said at the beginning of the year, because I have no idea. As it stands right now, it really seems that we were starting to make sense of the teams who were contenders and weren't contenders, and all of a sudden that's just not where we're at anymore. It seems like all the teams outside of Ottawa are like piranhas in the water, going after the meat at this moment. Everyone seems to be the best version of themselves. I can't rule out Calgary because I don't know what they are now that Sutter is in there. They look like they've figured things out. Montreal looks like a team that has not quite hit their stride, but has potential to do so on some nights and not other nights. They can't find consistency, but if they do, we've seen what can happen when they do. The Jets are getting their first dose of trying to figure things out this season, and this coming week. I mean, if we were all talking a week from now, the Jets are either going to be, in my mind, this week going to be the team that puts that playoff line behind them and then jockeys for position in the top three. But if things don't go well this week, they're going to be right in the heart of falling out of that. So, I mean, I'm fascinated by the way that things are shaping up right now. It's so much fun watching this. The idea of every game being worth 4 points is really coming to roost right now at this moment of the season, and it's making for fabulously fun hockey to watch. I don't want the North Division back. I may be in the minority there. I want to go back to the way things were, and where you're jumping around and watching your team go play Florida on one night and Columbus on the next night. But this division is giving a certain level of joy this year, and I think that joy is maximized at this moment right now.
So, Sean Reynolds, you should be a politician. Who's your fourth team?
It's Calgary.
Well,
his fourth team is
I'll
Calgary.
go with what I went in the beginning.
Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Toronto is what I went with in the beginning of the year.
I'm teasing. In the time we have left, 90 seconds, Ken, the Rennie and Kenny show, Kenny and Rennie on Instagram. You guys go live before every game, intermissions for the Jets. Give us a plug and how people can follow it.
Go ahead, Sean. After calling me a flip-flopper, I'll let Sean have the last word here.
Well, we do our Instagrams before the game. Afterwards, we go live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And we have a big Friday show where we sit down long form with guests. We've had guys like Chris Johnson, Elliot Friedman, Big Louis DeBrusque was on this past Friday. Best way to follow us is if you go and find Kenny and Rennie shows on YouTube. Getting a lot of traction there, a lot of interaction with the audience, which you're doing a great job of, kind of following your model and trying to give, dig a little deeper, get the Sportsnet look into the social media side of things with fans. It seems to be going great right now. It's taken up a lot of our time. Kenny jokes, and it's a joke, but there's a lot of truth to it. We spend a lot more time with each other than we do with our wives, socially distanced, of course, these days, but we're having a blast doing it, and getting to interact with the fans has been a real nice thing to do this season in the absence of getting out and sitting down and having a beer with them at the bar.
It is a lot of work, but it's a heck of a lot of fun. Guys, thanks for getting to the bottom of this stuff today. I appreciate it, and keep it up. We'll chat soon.
Our pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us.
Ken Wiebe and Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet and the Kenny and Rennie show. Okay, when we come back, sports update, CFL, XFL talk, because they're burning up the lines on that. More Jets talk. It's the RP show on this Monday. Thanks for joining us for Caliber Coffee today, everybody. You're watching on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, Would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1440.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Time for a sports update. Kirk Myers and Laura Walker defeated the duo of Corey Chester and Stephanie Jackson-Bayer 8-3 at the Home Hardware Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship Sunday. Myers and Walker are undefeated at 4-0. Kerry Anderson and Brad Gushu also defeated Robert and Emily Desjardins 7-3 in draw 18 action to improve to 4-1. The Jocelyn Peterman, Brett Gallant duo are now tied atop Pool A at 3-1, alongside the Colton Lott, Kadriana Sahadiak team and the Aaron Sluchinski and Brittany Tran team. Sorry to the closed captioners on that one. I'm sorry. Don't blame me. Kadriana Sahadiak.
You're trying.
In the Dub Hub, Connor McLennan scored the overtime winner to give the Winnipeg Ice a 3-2 overtime win over the Prince Albert Raiders Sunday in the Hub. Colby Knight made 16 saves on 18 shots in a 5-2 Edmonton Oil Kings win over the Red Deer Rebels Sunday. Adam Kidd scored twice in a 7-4 Calgary Hitmen win over the Lethbridge Hurricanes. The Portland Winterhawks withstood an attempted comeback from the Spokane Chiefs to win 4-3. Portland was up 3-0 and 4-1 before the Chiefs scored in the third in an attempt to erase their deficit. Nick Cechak, Simon Kanak, Gabe Klassen, and Reese Newkirk scored for Portland. Ethan Renier scored twice in a 7-0 Everett Silvertips win over the Tri-City Americans. Dustin Wolf, back-to-back shutouts for the Tips. I see our gal Liz Child saying, he's only 4 off the league record for shutouts in a season. Dustin Wolf, I'm like, cool it. Or maybe he will.
He might.
Maybe he will.
Right now, the record indicates he won't let in a goal all season. So,
Evan Patrician scored twice in a 3-1 Blades win over the Moose Jaw Warriors. Tristan Robbins also scored for the Blades. Colin Sexton scored 36 points in a 116-105 Cleveland Cavaliers win over the Toronto Raptors Sunday. Raps have lost 8 in a row. The Kansas City Royals have re-signed their 6-time All-Star catcher Salvador Perez to their richest deal in team history. The Venezuelan signed a 4-year, $82 million deal Sunday. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, your home for Regina Pats hockey and their big screens, Saskatchewan's newest entertainment destination downtown on Dudney Avenue. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Can somebody please look up for me, because I don't have the time, who owns the single season shutout record in the Western Hockey League? Do you know?
I think it's Carter Hart.
Carter Hart?
I think it's Carter Hart.
Okay, I thought it was Harding, because Josh Harding, we were going on a road trip, Swift Current, Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, and he came to the front of the bus, the Josh Harding, second-round pick of the Minnesota Wild, and he said, Roddy, I'm going to set the franchise record for shutouts on this trip. He was 2 shutouts shy, and I said, shut up, Hards, go sit down. Well, he shut out Swift Current in the first game. Then we went into Medicine Hat, and with a minute to go, and he's shutting out Medicine Hat, he starts pointing up at the press box like this at me. And the people are like, going, what's he pointing at? I'm like, he said he's going to do it, and he just went out and did it.
And he finished it off that day?
He did it, yeah. For the Pats' all-time record for shutouts. Like, I don't mind cocky. What have I always said? I don't mind cocky if you can back it up. Harding backed it up.
The Stones to come to you on the bus and say, I'm doing it on
Roddy,
this
what's
trip.
the record? It's this. I'm going to break it on this trip.
And if it is Carter Hart, even if it isn't, he was good. How spoiled are Everett fans to go from Carter Hart to Dustin Wolf in that?
Good scouting.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So to the comment board on CFL, XFL. This John Burns, again, drops some change on us. They call it supercharge on YouTube. He pays money. His comments go to the top of the order. We are the only fans of sports talk. Only fans. Sports talk. Right here. Write that down. Do you want to use that in a slogan?
It's probably going to be on a T-shirt.
By the end of the day. Disregarding CFL, XFL, and a potential merger here, John Burns, who has clarified that he is in Calgary, not Texas. He's in Calgary, which is Canada's Texas. He says, since the Canucks have a good rivalry with the new Seattle franchise in the NHL, why not the BC Lions getting another rival in the Dragons? And John Burns goes on to say, do you think Gary Bettman missed a great opportunity by not going with the Great White North NHL division? Back in the day, this guy's a hot take machine, man. He's got all the questions. I can only answer one at a time. Put your credit card away, John. I'm not even sure the CFL and XFL will merge at all. I'm for it. Here we go. Ryan says we only got 2 minutes left in this segment, but this is what I see. Everybody standing back and pointing fingers at each other. It's the owner's fault. It's the government's fault. It's the fans' fault. It's this fault. Nobody's pointing the finger at themselves and going, this is where we screwed up. This is where we need to get better. And this is how we'll save the CFL. I don't see anybody doing that at all. And that's the only way they're going to get out of this. But as long as they keep standing back and pointing fingers, the CFL will go down. That's my take. What's yours?
Yeah, I agree. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. It doesn't. What matters is, can you realize the position that you are in and start to come up with solutions to get out of it? Because it doesn't matter whose fault it is. You're here now.
Bingo.
Like, it doesn't matter if it was your fault, if it was the person before you, if it was other owners, if it was other commissioners, if it was the players, if it was government. It doesn't matter now because we're here. So, sure, despite external forces that are put us in this position, can you navigate out of it? And if you're not the people to navigate out of it, we need people who can.
From New Era Sens on YouTube says, if Calgary is Canada's Texas, what does that make Dedmonton? Come on. We got a lot of Edmonton viewers and big fans. It's Minneapolis. Mall of America, West Edmonton Mall. Malls.
Wow.
What else would there be? From Chris Bird on Facebook says, what does $20 buy me? That's a very good question. This is all new to us here in the digital world, what's going down. You pay to get your comments read. Hey, I like it. Tuck it right here on this G-string right here. Viewer takeover when we come back. More CFL, XFL, NHL, Great White North. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, Facebook Live, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you. And listen, I love when a plan comes together. I said I just wanted this to be a coffee get-together where we all come together as friends, us, you people, and that's exactly what happened. Thank you. Mark Zosel's watching in Melford, and he says the record for shutouts in a season set in 04-05, Seattle Thunderbirds, Brian Bridges. So just down the road from Dustin Wolf, but it's not. Liz might have been referring to the franchise record for shutouts.
She was referring to career record. I think that's a season record only. That's shutouts in a season. So
yeah.
We're looking for career shutouts.
No. I said in a season. I said, can somebody tell me the single season shutout record? That's what I asked for.
Well, she was saying 22 is 4 off the career record.
Oh,
so he's got 22.
He's that close?
Oh, he's got 22 all in his career.
This kid's good.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, as Director Jordan has aptly pointed out, we are the only fans of sports talk. You can pay to have your comments read, and I don't feel dirty at all. Ricky Kazama from Ballers Rec Room and the Tap says, please hide the G-string. From Metal Shingle Guy on the Prairie Mobile text line, LOL, put your credit card down. Okay, pick it back up again. Pump the merch. He says, pump the merch, Moose. Well, we have a viewer in Winnipeg, Michael Wynn, this morning, who's taken a photo of his television screen with the Game Plus logo in the corner and said, nice hoodie, RP. I wore it for you people in Winnipeg today. And it's another thing that we got to the bottom of today. Because I know that Winnipeggers know hockey. I know that. But you understand, Paul Maurice shouldn't be fired. Like, the two don't compute. And we had Ken Wiebe come on here and Sean Reynolds, and they both said it's because they expect perfection. Can I say this? Are you perfect? I'm not perfect. Right? No. Why do you expect it from your hockey team or your football team or your kids? You know? Yep. Or your officials. 97%. I'd like to be 97% most days. You know? Wouldn't everybody?
Doesn't happen.
No, that's what the refs say. They've been graded out at 97%, and they're happy with that. But nope, the football people, no, got to be 100%. You're not.
And it's funny, that was a Michael Strahan line on the Fox pregame show that keeps sticking with me. That there's 3 teams on the field every day. There's the home team, the visiting team, and the officiating team. And just about every single game, probably every single game, but I don't want to go in absolutes, the refs always have the best game. In terms of missed blocks, drop passes, missed throws, interceptions. You know, they make the fewest mistakes out of all 3 teams on the field. Yeah. Just their mistakes are hated by everybody.
And noticed.
And noticed by everybody.
Yeah. Your mom's writing in and says, my Darren is perfect.
She would know.
Well, you're his mom. What else are you going to say? Paula, you have to say that. Mike Blackbird in Toronto says the media attitude needs to change for the CFL in Canada. 100% for Toronto. Guys like Cox from the Toronto Star are still saying, kill the CFL and bring NFL. Makes me mad. Chris Bird in Toronto says, yeah, good luck. As long as the media is owned by big corporations, they will cover and promote what brings them the easiest money. He nailed it. Brian Warishin from the Lions Den podcast is watching on YouTube out in Vancouver. He says, an article in the Vancouver Province regarding Matt Sakaris and Blake Price starting a new podcast content format in lieu of being let go by Bell Media. They mentioned the RP show as an example of new media. All right, thank you, Brian. I noticed they said this is the Rod Pedersen Show having some success. I'll take that. I think it's a lot of success, but I'll take some success. Did you see the article?
No.
You didn't? I'll forward it to you. We will continue this into hour 2, the second half kickoff, with all of these topics. Todd Mogi in Winnipeg says Winnipeg has a large hockey analytic crowd, and their stats don't mesh with what Coach Paul Maurice always does. That's the biggest reason why fans here want him fired. So we'll continue that. More CFL, XFL, and Paul Hendrick. Henny Tweets joining us to talk Leafs. It's all coming up after this break. Stick with us on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends.
Now, Thursday night football, the Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. This game tonight will be like watching two old people have sex.
How about that?
That's why you have to keep watching, because you don't know the next word out of my mouth. And I know that, because I don't know the next word out of my mouth. Everybody's awake today.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Everybody is awake today. Welcome, everybody, to the RP Show, Hour 2. It's what we call the Hour 2 kickoff here. It's Monday, March 22nd. It is episode number 447 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. Cine Girl, Cynthia, wrote in on YouTube. She's watching. She says, Rod is absolutely glowing this morning. I am glowing. Had a wonderful weekend. I'm on the air chatting with you people, and life's fantastic. And the reason being is I've been through my personal crises. I've been through my crap times. Life's good. The sun's shining. I'm trying to help other people through that. That's all. And that makes you feel good to help other people. That's all. How you doing over there?
Life is good.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw this. I started running.
No, I didn't see that.
I started running a little bit. I used to
Where
run
are you going?
Just around the block. Whatever.
Right.
And running 5 days a week, and it's been great. And after our hockey game, I don't know if you saw that on my Instagram, I forgot I put it off all day, so I went for a run at 11:30 at night after the game on Saturday night.
Yep.
But it was great. I've never felt better.
That's a little strange.
It's a little strange, but I wanted to keep the streak going, and so I'm feeling good.
I was driving around John Frenzy on the weekend, and he told me, our 83-year-old panelist on Friday, the Hall of Fame Rough Riders broadcaster, and he said he's been getting out and having his walks, similar to you. And in the summer when it gets hot, as you know, he pulls his shirt off.
Oh, yeah.
And the women in South Regina love it. So watch for that.
It's like a parade. They pull their lawn chairs out and get ready for
We have another new thing going on today that we didn't even understand was a thing until now. On YouTube, if you pay the money, your comments go to the top, and we'll read them. This John Burns, how much he into us for today? $30 already. Woo! John says, if the CXFL gets off the ground, what does this mean for the Atlantic Schooners? Are we in a position with a Jim Carrey-like, so you're saying there's a chance? I like this John Burns guy. He's interesting. Where'd he come from?
I don't know.
How'd he find us? So we've labeled ourselves the only fans of sports talk. You keep swiping, we'll keep dancing. Do we want to delve into the CXFL talk? For those that just tuned in across this great continent on Game Plus TV, what you missed was it's Wednesday will mark 2 weeks since the commissioner of the CFL, Randy Ambrosie, and the CFL announced they're in collaborative talks with the XFL. Nobody knows what that means. And I have to say I'm incredibly impressed with Randy Ambrosie. I don't know if he came up with this on his own. It's a magnificent troll job. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He dropped a bomb and walked away and has us all scurrying around like mice. That's out of my playbook. That's why I love it so much. But what it's done, while it's got everybody going off, media, fans, players, coaches, everybody connected to both leagues, all it's really done is cause a lot of finger pointing. How did we get in this mess? And as long as the owners say, not us, as long as the marketers say, not us, as long as the fans say, not us, we've done all we can, I don't see progress with all the finger pointing going on, and it's going to lead to the ship going down, and then you got to rebuild. And as one of my brothers once said to me, who's worked in sports a long time, he says, you can't stop the train from going off the track. You got to let it go off the track, and then you clean up. And that's what's coming clear to me, the people that are just hell-bent on nothing changing with the CFL because it shouldn't change. Or those that say, I'd rather have the league fold than change. You might get your wish. And you're sitting there with some comments, I can tell by the look on your face.
It's called the Kansas City Shuffle, right? Going to tell you what's going on over here. Meanwhile, I'm getting the job done over here.
I think it's bait and switch.
Right?
It's bait and switch.
Well,
actually.
It's a little bit of both. Yeah. But, that came from the old movie, Lucky Number 11.
Yeah.
If you remember that. The Kansas City Shuffle. But it's like a little distraction over here. We'll drop this news. We'll give you a little this to bite on over here. Meanwhile, we'll go get everything done. And then when we announce what's happening, be like, oh, that was the plan all along. Smart. So we'll see if they come up with what they're working on and see where this goes. But it's interesting to follow.
So this is becoming the John Burns show. He says, you were on part of the XFL podcast recently, and so I figured I'd go to the sports mouth of Sask. But, John, we are coming to you from the Sweatbands capital, but we're on national television in front of 2.3 million viewers daily, just letting you know, Game Plus TV network in Alberta, all across Alberta on Telus Optic TV, cable carrier, and then YouTube and Facebook. Randolph Zora says, does anyone watching remember the name Larry Smith? And that's why I'm so grateful that I got into this CFL at a very young age. 18 years of age, I was on the radio. I'm 48, but I got a 30-year history in this league, covering this league, being around this league. And I feel like I want to defer to Darren on a lot of this stuff because he's a lot wiser than me, even at his young age. 33? 34 now? When people say it failed in the 90s, it's not going to work now. Are you welded to that? Because we're in a different world now. I've likened it to this. My mom, God bless her, huge CFL fan, not with us anymore. But when they announced the Ottawa Red Blacks going into Ottawa, the expansion franchise, she said, why would they go there? The Ottawa Rough Riders folded. The Ottawa Renegades folded. It's a terrible football market. And I'm like, no, Mom, it's a great football market. The teams failed the market. The market didn't fail the teams. But that was her opinion. I get the same sense here. Why would we try the XFL? They folded twice. It's different now. But you see, convincing people very difficult.
We're light years ahead of where we were in the 90s and in a completely different world. But the world is smaller than it ever was, than it's ever been, and it's getting smaller. And borders are just disappearing.
Melting.
They're melting away. And, I go back to Ron Duguay's comments about hockey players, right? He talks about, the lack of the tough guys. But he also says the identity of the game where he watches Canada, he watches the USA play hockey, he watches Canadians, Americans. He said he can't tell the difference anymore. Well, it's blending, like it's melting away the borders, where we are all just one people. Now, the borders, we have one side of the pond from the other. There's differences in culture and stuff, but culture in Canada and culture in the U.S. isn't a whole lot different anymore. It's blending so quickly. And, there's going to be a day, I know, where the currency will be the same, and there's going to be a day where the border crossing won't be an issue. It'll be the same. It's almost as easy to go to the United States now as it is to go to Alberta or Manitoba.
It was.
And the travel's the same.
Yeah.
So the fact of U.S. not working in the Canadian Football League, it's not the same as it was in the 90s. It's so much easier.
So that's my take. But as long as there's so much resistance, and let's not forget, too, by the way, that leaders in this day and age I've seen are so incredibly influenced, particularly in sports. One negative tweet will make them reevaluate their day and do a hairpin turn. Oh, my God, we can't have people mad at us. Are you kidding me? I see it a ton. So maybe all the people that are against a merger will get their way and it won't happen. Brian Warwishin, BC Lions Den podcast, good friend of ours, writes in. He says, here is the take I'm standing on with CFL XFL. The XFL has always marketed itself as being different, so let them adapt to Canadian rules and expose exciting football to the United States. All the CFL missed was marketing and business. You saw my tweet banging the head against the wall, GIF. There's nothing wrong with the game. There's never been anything wrong with the game. For 100 years, the CFL has got football right. Forget what McAfee says about state fair football. The game's great. We'll put it up against the NFL for excitement any day of the week. We all will, right? But it's had its lunch eaten by the NFL because the CFL took its eye off the ball for 20 years. Took their eye off the ball. I feel like I'm saying the same thing every day, but then we got all these new viewers, though.
I know.
Right? So you got the XFL's tremendous marketing, you got the Rock's money, you got the CFL's great game and the brand, meld them together, and they're the perfect fit. But nobody wants to hear that. And I will say this, at least people haven't been coming after me and making horrible, nasty personal comments about, because I'm in favor of a merger. They want to, but they haven't really said that.
Yeah, I know. Nuts.
I'm just saying.
I know.
By the way, there are other things going on. Eddie Bankowski, the great Edmund Bankowski, my first ever statistician when I was the voice of the Regina Rams football program. Eddie texts me and he says, "Hi, Rod, this morning on the Fan 590 Toronto, Carlo Koliakovo was singing the praises of Connor Bedard. He was very impressed. Aren't we all?" That's from Eddie Bankowski. I wrote him back and said, "Hard not to be, Edmund." Just to segue a little bit, because CFL isn't playing, hockey is. Just a thing on Bedard. There's a guy, actually a few of them, that are on my back about pumping this Bedard train so hard. And he's not just him and his kid. There have been viewers to Access that are like, enough about Bedard, enough about Bedard. But the Pats haven't said anything to me. The Western Hockey League hasn't said anything to me. This is my MO if you don't understand what I did for 20 years with the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders never had a problem with it because it was selling jerseys and selling tickets and getting people to watch the games. They get it. And I don't think any of the Pats' teammates are upset at Connor Bedard either. I think it's people just get tired of the story. Well, the story is 2 weeks old. And it happened. We went through this with Eberle, with the Pats. Same thing. I'm pumping Eberle's tires. Jordan Eberle, greatest Pat ever, potentially. Greatest World Junior player ever, voted by TSN, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had somebody with the team come up to me and go, I'll never forget. We were in downtown Edmonton. Royal Coast Suites, I believe, was the hotel we were staying in Edmonton, where somebody pulled the fire alarm in the middle of the afternoon. We were all having our pregame nap. We'll never evacuated the hotel. False alarm. Anyways, somebody came up to me with the Pats and said, "Can you pump the brakes on the Eberle stuff? Some of the other kids are getting jealous and upset." I said, "Sorry, what?" "Well, some of the other kids, you think it's not fair that Eberle's getting all the attention and they're not." We're really having this conversation right now? And I guarantee it wasn't the coach, Dale Durkach, because he's the guy, he would get it. But I'm not saying this is going on within the Pats right now. I think it's from outside the Pats. People are going, he's just one player. There's 19 other players. He's leading the entire Western Hockey League East Division in scoring, and he's 15 years old. He's the only player on the team with a 5-game point streak going into Tuesday's game against Winnipeg, which we'll be calling on Access Now TV. What are you talking about? You start putting up those numbers and you'll get the hype. Darren, God did not create us all equal. Sorry to burst your bubble.
You mean I'm not 6'4"?
Where are you on this? Please tell me I'm not alone.
You're not alone. It's fun. It's, we're a national show, right? We're a national show.
Yeah.
So who has the relevance across the entire country? Not really interested, unfortunately, in who's on the second, third, and fourth line across the country. I mean, if I'm Phil Andrews calling the Regina Pats games, I'm giving some more attention to Carson Denemy and some of these other kids for sure. But of course, Connor Bedard's going to get most of the attention because he's the exceptional player. You only have him for a short time. We're about selling the product, selling the game. You want people excited?
Yes.
Well, now scouts are coming to the game, and Carson Denemy is the second guy there who's having a great season playing with Connor Bedard, saying, wait, this kid can play too. And now we're going to start giving him some attention and potentially a contract and stuff because of the attention of Connor Bedard. But without Bedard, we never would have known maybe who these other kids were.
We wouldn't have been watching.
And they wouldn't have came onto our radar because the team's not exactly letting it on fire in the win column yet. And that's expected and whatever. But, yeah, of course the kid's going to bring more attention. McDavid did.
Yeah.
McKinnon, Crosby.
I had to get that off our chest today. J. Rod watching on Facebook says, "Morning, guys. Yeah, this Bedard kid looks like the next Patrick Kane." Good comparison, J. Rod, because Patrick Kane is routinely the smallest player on the ice and the best. Bedard's not real big. Jay Bockhart in Vancouver's watching. He says, 2017-18 captain Sam Steele. Yes, but if you read my Monday morning goalie column today, I said Sam Steele was 19 before most of this town even knew he was here. By then, it was almost too late. That's what I'm saying. I don't want that to happen. Get on the train now. One last one. Don Mitchell says he's watching in the Middle East. He says, I was talking to a friend of mine who was a CFL fan, and we got into how the TSN exclusive relationship has harmed the CFL. He is adamant that the relationship has been fantastic and doesn't see that TSN throttles other streams and the CFL suffers by the lack of visibility. Again, once we agree, then we begin to heal. Standing back, pointing fingers, fighting. This was great. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. NFL's bringing in $10 billion a year, bro. Starting in what, 2023? Mm-hmm. Where are their games? ABC, NBC, CBS, ESPN. Now Amazon streaming. Fox.
Yeah.
Every single network has a piece of the pie and paying a premium, and the CFL jumps into one because the network waved the biggest check at them. And now they're paying for it. But no, they would do it again. We'll be back. Henny tweets in next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait. Do it right now. Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Great Canadian sports talk show continues. I just want to tell you that the CFL, XFL talk will continue in the last two segments of the show, so get your loonies and toonies ready. And our curling report is coming up as well. But I'm going to hand this over to Dupes because as we bring in Paul Hendrick, longtime Leafs reporter, Leafs TV, TSN. Henny, listen. You see my gear. I got a Jets bunny hug on. My favorite team's the Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. But as you know, I'm surrounded by Leaf fans, and one sitting here right here with a well-coiffed hair, Darren Dupont. So I said, you're interviewing Henny. Dupes, you're on.
That's it. You got nothing?
I'm out of here.
Not one?
Go.
Okay.
You're wasting time.
How are you, Paul?
Hey, I'm good. I'm glad to see Rod's at the kids' table for a change. Let's do this.
Yeah, you and me both. This is pretty good.
Got it. Okay,
pretty
go.
good. Okay, so first off, just where would you summarize the Leafs right now? Because Rod kind of asked me that off the top, and it's tough because you come off the Edmonton 3 games, and now what's happened the last 8 or 10 games. How would you summarize where they're at right now?
Well, I think if the Leafs were to look back prior to training camp in December and say, here we would be the end of March, you'll be in first place with a completely healthy club, I think they'd sign off on that. Now, there's a caveat with completely healthy club. I practiced today. Their third, fourth, and fifth string goaltenders were out today, and Michael Hutchinson, Joseph Wall, and former Prince Albert standout Ian Scott. The top two guys, Campbell and Anderson, were not there. And my only concern is they've all had a couple of days off, more so for Anderson. It all starts in nets. And if they're able to manage the load from here on in, given just how balanced this club is defensively inside their own zone, which is a big change from seasons past, I think they're going to be in great shape. But health is wealth, and it begins in nets for the Leafs. And I think there are some question marks right now, just given the fact that those two goaltenders were not in the ice. Now, all of this said, the Leafs have only played 2 games in between 10 days. This is an opportunity, if you're going to rest some of these guys, to do it now. I just hope for Leafs' sake it isn't too serious with both those number 1 and 2 goaltenders, whoever the 1 and 2 is at this point in time.
How comfortable would you think that Kyle Dubas is in the goaltending situation? Freddie Anderson hasn't played, up to expectation, but Jack Campbell has, but they haven't been healthy. Mm-hmm. Are they comfortable with that tandem going forward, or do you think, a change has to be made?
No, I think they're comfortable. And if both are healthy, or at least relatively healthy, I think, Darren, they're going to go the way with them. Michael Fuda, a longtime general manager in Los Angeles, now with Sportsnet, he's always spoken highly of Campbell and believes Campbell should be given the opportunity. I know this is a contract year for Freddie Anderson. I know he wants to do well. If this team's able to do well with him and Nets heading into the postseason and possibly going deep, he's going to make his money some way, somehow, whether it be in Toronto or somewhere else in the National Hockey League. So, no, they're very much happy. I think if there's a change, or at least an addition, they'd like to add some grit on the blue line. Maybe a 5-6 kind of guy, but just something to bolster what they've got in Bogosian and Muzzin, and possibly a top 6 forward that would thus bump a forward down to the third line and bring some scoring balance through the top 3 lines. And they're getting it. I mean, with Spezza and company on the 4th line right now, but I see Kyle getting one or both of a top 6 forward and a 5-6 defenseman with grit, and I see that happening sooner than later, given when the deadline is and given the chance that they're going to have to trade with somebody stateside and all that the quarantine's going to have to offer to bring those guys up here before they get a chance to play.
Yeah, you can see the evidence of that already, right? The waiver moves and both Boyd and VC being claimed. Galchenyuk's the other guy I wanted to ask you about. And how do you see them using him moving forward? I know he played, pretty well with the Marlies, and he's contributing already. I mean, it's far too early, but long term, do you see him sticking in the top 6 or maybe in the third line?
Yeah, they think he can play on either of those top 3 lines, and I guess you could stick him on the 4th, but why would you do that? No, they see him as an opportunity, a reclamation project who may have needed a change, and they're going to get a chance. Obviously, he is to work with the Marlies development people and now with the Maple Leaf people, and I mean, was he 2nd overall? And you just don't go that high, or 3rd overall, whatever it was, back in 2012. And not have something that's there. So they're hoping to cap into that. It's not cost them anything. And if he's able to do so, then he's going to help this hockey club. And he has something to prove as well. Seems very happy. It's interesting when you come on a team and you look around that dressing room to see all the skill and leadership that is there. This, for me, is the best Maple Leaf team I've had an opportunity to really cover, but be around and be a part of, not necessarily this team this year, but through the rest of my 25 years with this hockey club. This is the best team I think the Leafs have had in terms of elite skill up front. And now Galchenyuk's got a chance to rub shoulders with this talent, rub shoulders with some of that leadership that's in that room. And I think it might make him a better hockey player. The Leafs have rolled the dice, and we'll see what happens. But I think he could fit on either of the top 3 lines, and that's a credit to his skill set.
Okay, Henny, I'm back at the adults table here, and you got some pearls that you've said there was the defensive play of the Leafs. That's the one thing that I clung to, because that's what the scouts are talking about, that they are committing to playing defense and how there's always a leaf between the opposing forward and their net. It's unbelievable. Some are saying that the Oilers have picked up on that, and that's, kind of modeling what the Leafs have done. Now, Mike Babcock is a personal friend of mine. You saw his first interview, was on this show since being fired. Has that been the biggest change with the Leafs under Sheldon Keefe? is the defensive play, and how's he gone about getting them to buy in?
Yeah, it's a great question, Rod, because if you can't get Mike Babcock to get you to buy in on that, I'm not sure what was. And I know before Mike was fired, they were in Pittsburgh, and Kazimir Kaskasuo was in nets. And you think if you're going to play for anybody, you're going to play for this goaltender who gave it his all. I didn't see anything that night, which leads me to think that, I don't know, maybe they were playing to get a coach fired, and not long after, in fact, just a couple of days later, Mike was gone. In comes Sheldon. And, as Mike said, he was getting paid half his money to coach the Maple Leafs, the other half to get whacked. He knew he was going to get fired at some point in time. That just goes with the profession. Mike's resume speaks for itself. He's a great hockey coach. What has Sheldon done? They've maybe just bought into it. They've added some players. He had better than a half a season to repeat his message and drill in as they came to camp this time through the bubble playoff last summer. Still, the message was, we've got to be better in our own zone. Then you add the likes of a Bogosian who'd won a Stanley Cup, a TJ Brody. They just get better. A healthy Jake Muzzin. And you've got that elite core up front. And, Marner, Matthews, Nylander. This is their 5th year together as a group. They're not kids anymore. It's beyond run and gun hockey. It's a chance to play as a group, 5 men inside deep, and realizing that, hey, if they can only score 1 or 2, we can easily score 3 goals to win a hockey game. So they bought into it. I think it's a credit to their maturity. It's a credit to Sheldon Keefe and his coaching staff. But I just think the timing was right for Sheldon, perhaps more so than for Mike, who inherited a club that was rock bottom. He got them to a certain level, and maybe his time was done and they needed to hear a different voice. No slate on Babs. He's one of the premier coaches on the planet.
Chiming in with just some viewer comments here. Jay in Vancouver says the Canucks just picked up 2 Leafs that were put on waivers from the Puck and Pigskin podcast out of Red Deer. They write, Jack Campbell is absolutely the number 1 until proven otherwise. Janelle Barkman in Saskatoon, she's a Blades fan. She says, my kid and I were just talking about the Leafs goalie situation this morning, so this is perfect. Heard they called up Ian Scott. You mentioned that, right, Henny? He's with the big club now? Ian Scott? Okay.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a comeback story for him. So good for Ian.
Yeah, and a tremendous netminder, too. But how about this one? It had to have come across your radar when John Scott, St. Catharines kid, said the Leafs are just mowing the North Division. There's no other competition there. And I brought him on and challenged him on it, and he wasn't backing down. Where are you on that take by the big man, John Scott?
John's a great talker, and he's a showman, and anything he can do to stir it up. Hey, listen, the North it's an accordion, and all of a sudden things have tightened up. And, you think back to the original 6 days where those teams were playing each other 15 times. Good God, it was rough. Not so bad this time around, maybe 9 to 10 times, but we're getting a chance to for teams they don't have to scout the other team. They know exactly what has to be done. And I think the remaining 24 to 25 games, this is going to be a sprint that's going to be absolutely fantastic. I still think the Leafs are the best team in the division. They've got to have healthy goaltending, because if they don't, then all bets are off. But that said, you look at the goaltending in the entire North Division, at least those top 5 teams still in contention for playoff spots, the goaltending in each of those squads is outstanding. And in a playoff series, and where you only have to win 2 rounds, that could be the difference to get to the NHL Final Four. The Leafs know they're close. And that's why I think Kyle Dubas is going to pull the trigger on 1, possibly 2 trades to bolster up front and to bolster themselves on the blue line. They just haven't been this close in about 20 years. And even 20 years ago, you can argue they weren't as close as this club is. And considering the talent this team has, you've got to get things done within the next 3 to 5 years. And they've got a shot at it this year. So why not take that shot?
I'll leave you with this. John in Calgary asked this a while back. I'm going to put it to you. Did the NHL err in not having an all-Canadian division in the years leading up to this? Like, I'm really loving it. I think you are too. Should it stay? Because you know that they're going to open the border and we're going to have the divisional, outside the divisional road trips into America. I'm not opposed to it. How would you answer that?
I would like it. I just think practically, just the size of our country makes it really, really difficult. I think of Vancouver and the Alberta teams coming all this way. Winnipeg might be the best off given that they're just a couple of hours from Eastern Canada. I just think the geography of the situation makes it rather difficult. That said, I thought when I settled down this summer, I thought, okay, I'm going to step away from it, that I wasn't going to watch much hockey. I've not missed an entire Leaf game, and I just wish Sportsnet would have more of those games on rather. I'll watch Boston, but I'd rather see our Canadian division play all the time. I really like it. I just think big picture, it's not practical, but I could get used to seeing Connor and Edmonton and Scheifele and company 5 to 6 times a year at least. I'd like to see that if we can do that. Maybe not Vancouver Canucks 10 times a year. It's a long way to travel for both sides.
That's the only reason is travel. I'm with you. I said that's why they haven't done it yet, is travel. Mm-hmm. But I could be convinced because the hockey's been so great. And the stir that it's created has been amazing. Henny, as always, a fantastic visit. I appreciate the time. Hope that things are going well here in retirement. Are we calling you that? Are we bothering you here in retirement? You said that you were good to talk hockey whenever.
It was an opportunity to wash my hair and shave, and I only do that on days I do my podcast. The first question and with Paul Hendrick, give it a listen. There's my plug, but no, listen, staying busy and loving it. So thanks for the opportunity, and I hope to have Clark have me back on again at some point.
Okay, Paul, appreciate the time. Stay well. Paul Hendrick joining us from the Big Smoke today. There you go.
Yeah.
Be feeling even better about your Leafs after that, I bet, eh?
Why not, right? Ray of optimism. I love it.
Yeah. Well,
why not? Right?
Henny's still watching. Every year he says they're the best Leafs team ever. Just teasing him there a little bit. But here's the thing. I don't understand why you people in the East would want an all-Canadian division, because I have a tough time staying up for 9:30, 9 and 9:30 starts. How the heck could you stay up for 10 o'clock starts? How could you do that?
I know.
I don't. But they seem to do it.
It's fun when it's...
Maybe they're used to it.
It's fun when it's once a year. Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary.
Yeah, it's a novelty.
It's a novelty. So that's really cool. We'll stay up the one time. But when you're doing it every 2 weeks, it becomes a lot. And then you stop paying attention. And, we do have to remember that the majority of the audience is there, too. There's a lot of people there. And we can't control that. That's where the majority of the people live.
Well, we've learned it firsthand now. You want to know why it's Toronto Sports Network? We've found out why. Mm-hmm. But I've also found out why people like to talk other than Toronto. So it fits real well. But the tail that wags the dog here is Game Plus, which is in downtown Toronto. And that's why we follow their lead, right? Just a quick comment here from, Chris Bird in Toronto says, I say yes to the Canadian division moving forward. I'm not going to say no. I just hope they put some thought into it. I think it could work. From Jordan Ewart says, go Oilers. Big one for the Oil tonight. They could be in first place after tonight with a win at Montreal. Reportedly, media and travel watching on YouTube says the dark horse is YouTube. Rod, your show is miles ahead of everyone. Focus on this platform. Most non-mainstream YouTube channels have a bigger audience in the millions, but they don't engage with the viewers like we do. Did you put in your loony?
I should read what? You put a quarter in the machine. Pick whatever song you want.
That's right. Curling update, Kirk Myers and Laura Walker defeated the duo of Corey Chester and Stephanie Jackson-Bayer 8-3 at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship Sunday. Both teams were tied at 2 after 2 ends, but the Myers-Walker team took the lead for good in the third end after scoring 2 more points. After their opponent would add 1 score in the fourth end, Myers-Walker scored 4 more through their final 3 ends of play. The Myers-Walker tandem are undefeated at 4-0 after Sunday night's win. They hold a share of the lead atop of Pool C with Tyrell Griffith and Nancy Martin, who defeated the duo of Kyler Kleibrink and Shaylin Kitts 9-2 Sunday. Earlier Sunday night, the duo of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant defeated Alex Robichaud and Melissa Adams 11-3 in Draw 19 action. Instead of having their names, I think they should sell the names. Team Bush, Team Pennzoil, Team... Do you know what I mean?
Did you get that little lesson into branding? He just did all NASCAR sponsors. Think the guy's not into racing?
I am. But it works.
But it does work.
I'm just saying, have that across the name. It would be easier to remember. Peterman and Gallant scored 5 in their first end and never trailed against Adams-Robichaud. Their opponent scored 2 points in the second end, but that was as close as they got to keeping pace. The Peterman-Gallant duo are now tied atop Pool A with a 3-1 record alongside the Colton Lott Kadriana Sahadiuk team. Again, sorry to the closed captioners for that. And the Aaron Sluchinski Brittany Tran team. Also on Sunday, Kerry Anerson and Brad Gushu defeated Robert and Emily Desjardins 7-3 in Draw 18 action. They are now 4-1. And in second place behind the partnership of Jennifer Jones and Brett Lang. Oh, big news. A back injury forced Darren Moulding and Joanne Courtney to withdraw from the championship. They're hoping that Moulding will be fine for the Worlds as he will be representing Canada vis-a-vis Alberta. The Curling Report is brought to you by Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and optimize their operations across every field. Try out their precision farm tech software for free today at vergeag.com. We'll be back. Viewer takeover the rest of the way. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Okay, we got stuff going on. We have yet to talk about the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. It's this, and we debated it for a while in our morning meeting because we do everything here as a team. The poll question today is, who wins first? The Houston Rockets, who have lost 20 in a row, or the Buffalo Sabres, who have lost 13 in a row? On Twitter, 59% of you saying the Buffalo Sabres will be the first to end their losing streak. 59% on Twitter. Do you guys have the Facebook? No, we don't? Okay. So my thing was I wanted to say the Swift Current Broncos. They've lost 23 in a row. It happens. Let's not forget they won the league in 2018, okay? That's the cyclical nature of junior hockey, unless Kelly McCrimmon runs your team, which you always win. But the guy said, no, it's a junior hockey team. We can't point that out. So it's Sabres, Rockets. Why are you looking at me like that?
The Kelly McCrimmon reference, just drop that in there. And it's true. The thing is, it's true.
The Pats got hosed in overtime the other night against the Brandon Wheat Kings and lost. So I was talking to my Wheat Kings friends. I said, Kelly was involved somehow. I don't know how, but he was. Brandon Crow, the voice of the Wheat Kings, said to me, they love you in Brandon now. I don't know why. They used to hate you. I'm like, oh, I'm very, very aware of that. Time mends all wounds.
It does. It does.
Well, actually, not time. People do. We've gone out of our way to
That's right.
make friends with them over there. Hey, John Burns has dropped another $5. He's dropping the fins here today. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're not fooling around. For those that just tuned in, if you're watching on YouTube, you can pay to supercharge your comments and get them read.
He has got a front row seat and a jar full of Ludies.
He's in Sniffer's Row, as they say. We're the only fans of sports talk. John says, I understand the game's in Florida and not Canada, but any chat about Canada playing Bermuda on Thursday, World Cup qualifying? Go Canada, men's go. I'm sorry. What's the sport?
Soccer. I think. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yes.
How about no?
Could be rugby.
How about no?
Yeah, no.
Anyways, a 2-shot, please, of us. Every time you drop in your toonie, your fin, your loony, take it away.
I was going to say, I'll get on my hands and knees on the table and start dancing.
Do a dance. Right? Thank you, the Hockey Club. The Hockey Club.
Me too.
Podcast watching in Florida says, I'm dying. I'm sorry. It just slipped out.
I said front row, okay? I tried to keep it PG.
Action-packed day. Sports update here. For Canadian teams in the NHL tonight, the maximum 3 games are on the schedule. Ottawa hosts Calgary. Montreal entertains Edmonton, and Vancouver is home to Winnipeg. The Oilers can jump into first place in the North Division with a win at Montreal. Joel Teasdale and Joseph Blandisi scored a pair of goals each in a 4-1 Laval Rocket victory over the Stockton Heat at the Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary Sunday. Both teams were... What? I don't want to look at the comments, I don't think.
Don't.
Both teams were tied 1-1 after the opening 20 minutes. Blandisi opened the scoring with his 5th of the season. Stockton replied with a tying goal from Michael Stone. That's where he is. Following a scoreless second period, the Rockets scored 3 times in the third en route to victory. Blandisi and Teasdale each had an assist in the win as well. Rocket goalie Caden Primo made 19 saves on 20 shots. Laval has now won 5 straight. Heat goalie Garrett Sparks made 29 saves on 31 shots. The Toronto Raptors face a team struggling more than they are tonight. Toronto's in Houston facing the Rockets. Raps have lost 8 in a row. Houston's dropped 20 straight. The NBA trade deadline is Thursday. Kind of feeds well into our poll question, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Who wins first, Rockets or Buffalo Sabres? Who wins tonight, do you think? Raptors or Rockets?
Well, it's got to be the Raptors, right?
Does it have to be?
Slump busters.
You would think.
And the Houston Rockets.
And a full day of March Madness today because of this change in schedules. Monday, a rare full slate for the U.S. College Basketball Championship. The men are on the final day of the second round in Indy, while the women wrap up the first round in San Antonio. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. And we have a new sponsor. New partner, and Darren's going to take it away. We're very excited about this.
Yeah, Landmark Cinemas coming on board. I know, you're a big movie guy, and I love the movies too. So the Landmark Cinemas, our newest partner of the show. You'll be seeing our mugs on in theaters all across Western Canada. So if you're going to the Landmark Cinema, this is the only time I'll tell you to take your phone out in the theater is for the pre-show. Be ready and snap the photo of us. But we'll be talking about the movies a little bit, telling you what's on, and we'll be enjoying the movies ourselves.
There you go. Landmark Cinema on board. And by the way, that's all across the prairies, Western Canada.
That's right, Western Canada.
Landmark Cinema. We're big movie people. So we're excited to be partnering with them. Welcome aboard the RP Show, Canada's fastest growing sports talk program. We'll be right back with the full-on viewer takeover. Get your money ready. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
It's just unbelievable what we do here every day. This is overtime, and I would jokingly like to say we've accomplished nothing today, and we've just sat around and drank coffee and shot the spit, but that's not true. We've accomplished a ton.
Right.
And regarding why do Winnipeggers want Paul Maurice fired, we had the experts on, Sean Reynolds and Ken Wiebe from Sportsnet, and they said that the Jets fans expect perfection. It's not reasonable, but at least we figured that out.
Yep.
On Twitter, guy writes here, his title is Sports Fan and Opinionated, and his avatar is a Jets logo. He says, I think Paul Maurice is a great coach. In my opinion, anyone who says different should open their eyes. You're missing a well-coached team. Not his problem. They lose a few games here and there. They win a lot more than they lose. Go Jets, go. So, yeah, we got to the bottom of that, and we figured it out. The other thing we've learned today is if you pay money on YouTube, we'll read your comments. And I don't feel dirty at all. But John Burns in Calgary's, what's he into us now for? $45 today in comments alone. This guy is our daddy. Where did his comment go?
It's on the screen.
Oh, he was asking about some World Cup qualifying and if Canada's going to get in. I said, I don't know soccer. I didn't even know it was soccer. So he says, if Canada, he paid $5 to say this, Darren. If Canada makes it to the octagonal for soccer World Cup qualifying, including Jamaica, Mexico, U.S., Costa Rica, Honduras, I'll ask a question then. Yeah, I can't. I'm not down with the soccer, bro.
Well, if you're paying.
So, well, even if you're paying, I don't think I can get down with soccer. Why would you want me to talk about something I know nothing about?
Yeah,
that's just perverse.
Maybe don't ask the question. You tell us what we need to know, and we can relay that to the people, maybe? Like you want to promote your event?
Yeah. Now we got a soccer discussion going on in the YouTube comments, saying it's a hexagonal, not the octagonal. It's all Greek to me. Viewer Mark Zoso says, I love the seats at the Landmark. Oh, and the food is good too. Prairie Mobile text line DG in Saskatoon writes in and says, morning guys, plenty of Connor Bedard's teammates will love having played with him and the attention he's getting when he leaves free tickets for them at will call at his NHL games and lets them on his private jet. You don't think Gretzky and Lemieux's old junior teammates still drop their names 25 times a day? These Pats will look back in disbelief in 10 or 20 years. Signed, DG in Saskatoon. I want to make it very clear. It's in my Monday morning goalie column. Any of the pushback I've got from people on the Bedard hype has not come from within inside the Pats at all. It's come from outside the Pats. And until somebody tells me to cool it on the Bedard hype, I'm going to keep the hammer down. My friend Aaron writes on the Prairie Mobile text line, don't apologize for hyping Bedard. Outstanding job. Ownership and 99% of Regina should love it. From one of the Wheat King scouts named Dallas, he says, it's not just Kelly McCrimmon. It's good scouting, too. Oh, the good scouting accounted for the ref blowing the call in overtime the other night. I see. Can you believe the Twitter furor over that missed call in overtime, by the way?
I was going to say, yeah. It's
great.
It's awesome.
People have woken up to WHL hockey and use social media to get there. From Randy Butler in Regina, regarding the NHL, Interesting stat. Habs are 7th in the league with 99 goals, yet their leading point getter, Toffoli, is 37th in the league. Edmonton has 116 goals, with Connor and Leon being the top 2 dogs for points in the league. Well, I'll double down and say with the Pats, we were discussing this morning, Connor Bedard leads the entire division in scoring and his team's second worst. How about that?
I know.
Bob in Grand Prairie, Alberta. Back to CFL, XFL. He says, maybe The Rock will just inject the money to get the CFL going without a merger. He's an ex-CFL guy and loves the league. He's got a year or two before the XFL starts up again, and the CFL can use his marketing to improve that aspect in that time. Just saying. Yes, Bob in Grand Prairie. That's exactly what the CFL's hoping.
The CFL is not UNICEF. It's not a registered charity.
I don't think so. No, you're right. I don't think they're a charity.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, the XFL's just going to give us all his money, and we're going to use him, and we're going to play, and he gets nothing. Yeah, that's what they think. I can't see that happening. Darren, you taught me.
I can't.
Nothing's free.
Yeah, I can't see it. I can't.
Somebody buys you lunch, you owe them something.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? Like, make no mistake, it means a lot that they're having conversations. Like, there's a tremendous amount of respect for the Canadian Football League. There's a tremendous amount of respect. That's why they're having the conversations. Because the game is great. And there's a ton of wonderful history. And there's a great product there. There really is. So find a way to save it.
From the Prairie Mobile text line, Brady says, hey, Rod, Nolan Meyer, Blades goalie, collected his 83rd win in a 3-1 victory against the Moose Jaw Warriors Sunday night. He now sits 2 back from the franchise record holder, Tim Cheveldae. Woo! That snuck up on us.
Did it ever?
Where's Chevy these days? Is Chevy aware of this? Last I heard, he was an ambulance guy, EMT for the Army. In Dundurn, I think.
I haven't talked to him in a little while.
Good old Chevy. Sports on tap for our friends at the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store tonight. 10 in the NHL? Oilers of Montreal, as we mentioned. Buffalo puts that 13-game losing streak on the line there at the Rangers. Flames at Sens. Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, are home to the St. Louis Blues. Colorado's creeping up, by the way, on the Golden Knights. They're 3 points back. Avs are at Arizona. Jets at Vancouver. In the Dub Hub, 4 p.m. this afternoon, Swift Current Broncos versus Prince Albert Raiders. 8 p.m., Blades and the Wheaties. And in spring training baseball, Blue Jays Tigers get after it, 4:37 in Dunedin this afternoon. The Tap drive-through and liquor store, open for dine-in or pickup. The liquor store drive-through is open, plus you may also shop inside. Please follow social distancing guidelines and help everyone stay safe. Whew. We covered a lot. Norway calling from Trent. Thanks again for a great show. Stay safe, everyone. Hey, and Jennifer says the Blue Jays game is on Sportsnet East. Everything's coming up Millstone today.
Oh, yeah.
How much time? All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Noon Eastern, 10 Mountain, right here on Game Plus TV. What do you think it is? A strip club?